Oh, you look so bright again. You're like fluoro on my phone.
I really stand out, don't I? For today's Tip Tuesday, we're going to be going through it. Well, as the weather's warming up, the sun's getting stronger. There are chances there that your plants can get burnt from the UV from the sun. So if you're buying that from online stores around different states, or even from your local nursery, which buys their succulents from other areas, from other suppliers, then chances are that they haven't acclimatized to your specific area where you're going to plant them out, and the sun as well. So so burn is, not too far away from happening as the UV is going up. So we've got an example here of a Sedum Adolphi, where you can see that this has had burn previously, and obviously this is one that looks fine. So you can look like a brown markings on it, or even black. Most plants can be susceptible to it. Ones that have the farina, which is like the white powder, I tend to find are a little bit tougher. It acts more like sunscreen for them. But ones that I personally find that are susceptible to burn are the Echeveria agavoides. Not sure why.
Variegated plants as well.
And variegated plants too, yeah, very susceptible to it. So make sure that you do protect them very well. So yeah, you can go. Some people use like alsonite under the pergola, or an area where they'll grow their plants to provide protection for them. Or another way is shade cloth. So good time now to think about that, as next week here in Mudgee we're starting to go to mid to high 20-degree days. So the UV is going to be a lot stronger. So it is something to think about giving protection to plants. So after a couple of years, or maybe a little bit less than that, as the succulents mature, they will start to become a bit tougher and acclimatise better to the area then. So then you don't need to shade cloth them as much, unless you're getting a ridiculous 40-degree day. Then
Celsius for people who aren't in Australia.
Yeah, Celsius, sorry. Then it can be brutal to everything really. So shade cloth comes in all sorts of different colours and percentage on how tight the matting is compared to the shade that it
like
produces.
The weave,
so
is it?
The weave, yeah. So this is 90%, 70% green shade cloth here. So this one here is quite perfect for if you've got indoor plants, or not indoor, but
shade loving.
More your shade loving plants. This is a really good one for that, or the 90% green. Also good for Haworthia as well. That one there, as they love more shade. You've got 50% white shade cloth here. A lot of people tend to like the 50% white here. If you've got it in a shade house where it's completely enclosed, you may actually find that you won't get as good ventilation using the 50% white. So I really like the 30% green. So this actually provides as much shade as a 50% white, but look at the holes in it. So it'll give you much better ventilation, which is really important for your succulents.
What happens if you don't have good ventilation?
Bad ventilation, well then you're susceptible to rot or fungal issues within your plants. So, and yeah, you don't want that, especially as we're going into summer. If it's going to be a wet season for you, high humidity, you want the best ventilation you can, or natural ventilation, or you can use fans if you can without tripping power or that sort of thing if they're exposed to rain. So yeah, really important to think about now, as it is getting warmer, what to do with your plants, because some, especially if you're collecting quite expensive plants, you want to do everything you can to try and protect those guys. There's all sorts of different ways that you can install it. You can hang it just with a bit of rope. Some people create frameworks over their succulents, and it'll work for you. So hopefully that helps. I think I've covered everything. You don't have any questions?
Do I have any questions? No.
So if your plants do get burned, if there is a sign of green in the center of the plant, there's a high chance that it will actually recover from that. So
what do? Do you pick the leaves off, or just leave them?
You can pick the leaves off, or you can head chop them, but if you're going to head chop them, then you'll be exposing leaves that aren't normally used to having direct sunlight on them. So there's a chance that you could even burn those too. So if you do have a plant that has been burnt, I would protect it a bit more, so you can cut it back, but just make sure that it's in some shade so that it can recover. Otherwise it's just going to keep getting burnt from there. And yeah, once you start getting burned, you can, like on your leaves, they can start to go a bit, or start to rot and all sorts of things, and then create other issues for you. So
it's all just trial and error as to which
yeah,
shade crop to go for.
yeah, that's all it is really. So majority of your succulents that love the sun, you can get away with 30% green or 50% white. But once you start getting into shade-loving plants like Haworthia, then you're best to go with a 70% or even 90. I've had them growing under or near some 30%, and they do okay as well. So, but the most common one that's used is 70 and 90. Yeah, so hopefully that helps. Yeah, really think about it really soon, because you really don't want
70 and 90 are the most common?
For shade loving,
oh,
they
sorry.
are,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. So you go the higher percentage for more shade loving plants. So yeah, good time to think about it now. Yeah, it's really heartbreaking when you find, you know, a particular plant that you're really enjoying watching at the moment grow, that it gets burnt. So yeah, make sure you protect your plants, and hopefully they keep growing happily for you and get through the summer. So yeah, any other questions, please feel free to shoot them through to us. Loving our channel and the tips that we're sharing with you guys, please continue to like and subscribe. Tell your friends, family.
Oh, here we go, ramping it
Going
up.
all out over here. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Have a great week, and talk to you soon.